Well, greetings to you. And first off, thank you so much for those kind messages of support I've had yesterday on various matters. Um, Over 1,000 yesterday, and I thank you very much indeed. Now, I'd just like a little word about gold today, as the prices of gold has gone up. Although when I say the price of gold has gone up, actually what's happened is the value of paper money has declined, and I've made this point on a number of occasions. So when you get articles, the normal nonsense these days in the Daily Telegraph, say that gold is somehow priced too high, it's got nothing to do with the price of gold, it's because of degradation of paper money, all right? Something else they don't bloody understand. Newspapers. No wonder nobody bothers with them. Anyway, so we are in a situation where that trend is bound to continue. How can it not? Because paper money is intrinsically worthless, and gold has been money for thousands and thousands of years. Somebody on my last one, I was talking to Claudio Grass in Switzerland. He moaned and said, "Oh, it's all right. I don't have enough money for Swiss to put money in Swiss accounts and gold and all the rest of it. Whinge, whinge, moan, moan." Well, of course, most of us don't. Most of us don't. That was just an interview to give a broader view of the situation in Switzerland and the situation in the gold market and in the upper echelons, as it were. Gold is for everyone. It's for everyone. It's for everybody. If you want to protect your wealth. And that's been proven over generations. I'm not going down that path again because I've been down it too many times. But a number of people are asking questions, quite relevant questions. One, a main one that's coming through is, can the government confiscate your gold? And the answer to that is, of course they can. Of course they can confiscate it. They're in the process now of confiscating farmland. They're in the process of confiscating farmers' shotguns. They're in the process. We live in a kleptocracy. They're stealing everything they can get their hands on. So the answer is yes, they can. But they can steal your house if they want to, can't they? They could price you out of the market on property tax, which we call rates. So they can steal anything because they've got all the police on side and so on and so forth. And they're crooks and thieves, as we all know. So the answer is yes, they can. What you can do is make it more difficult for them to steal your property. And when I say property, I mean gold as well. You can make it a little bit more difficult. So you can make sure it's stored in an independent place, an independent deposit arrangement, not to do with banks, nothing to do with banks. Banks are owned by the government. Banks will always let you down. Paper money will always let you down. Silver and gold's good. I'll speak about silver in just a minute. So yes, you can. And of course, the audit trail goes dead after a while. They can find out, of course, by checking with bullion dealers if you bought any gold this year, last year, the year before, and the year before that. But as the trail goes longer, it gets more difficult for them to confiscate it. And of course, as I said before, I don't like bullion, I like coin. Coin of the realm, so Britannia's half sovereigns, sovereigns, so on and so forth. They're coin of the realm. That is very much more difficult for them to actually steal from a technical perspective. The other thing is that very few people actually own gold. Believe it or not, it's the central banks that are buying all the gold at the moment, not the punters. The punters are not buying to any great extent, and the average amount in a portfolio is less than 0.5%. So to go through all that problem of trying to confiscate it, of course, would be more trouble than it's worth, because nobody's got any. And if you've got some, or you're thinking of buying some, you will be in a tiny, itsy bitsy minority. So who's stolen gold? What governments have stolen gold? Well, we know that the French government stole people's gold in the 1700s. They came and dug people's gardens up, but it didn't last very long. They had to give that up. It's not an easy game. We know that Roosevelt stole American gold, American people's gold in 1933, and then revalued it. A masterstroke of criminality. There's statues to this guy. Some people think this guy was a good guy. Anyway, there we are. That's history for you. The winners always write it, don't they? So it has been seized on two occasions, once by the French government and once by the American government. It could be seized, of course, by our government at any time, but a very, very difficult procedure for them, especially with coins. So bear that in mind, if you will. Another people say, what's all this bit about revaluation? Do I understand revaluation? And just a quick word on that. The Fed, and it's these things that really lead the world on these matters when it comes to monetary affairs. The Fed have the gold written in their books at only sort of $40 an ounce plus, around about $40 United States dollars an ounce, and it hasn't been revalued in years and years and years. So there is a way of putting in their books, and Trump might do this, the Fed might do this. He's being pushed now by Republicans, this new administration. If at a stroke of a pen he revalues gold, at say $10,000 an ounce instead of $3,000 an ounce, or he could do what he likes with it, revalue it in the books. That means at a stroke of a pen he can make he can make $1 trillion at the stroke of a pen, and everybody else's gold will go up automatically. So if you hold it, it will go up automatically. The Russian holdings, the Chinese holdings, the Indian holdings will go up automatically. A very popular concept for central banks to be able to, at a stroke of a pen, and politicians at a stroke of a pen, to balance their books. It's sort of a natural thing to do, and one might argue that it should have been revalued years ago because the market value now is so much above what the notional value is by the Fed. So that's something else that could happen, on which, of course, you could be very, very lucky if you've got some gold. It's going to go up something like tenfold overnight, so you could get a result on that. But that's as maybe. It could be inflationary. It could be not. There's arguments on both sides. So that is one of the arguments for gold. One of the many arguments for gold. Yes, it can be stolen. Anything can be stolen. So you can't really plan. You can't really plan for what's going to be stolen by the government, because they really want to steal everything. Just make it more difficult for them. Make it more difficult for them. A quick word, as I said, about silver. At no time has the ratio of gold to silver been at this level. Silver is amazingly underpriced from a market perspective. It's deliberately suppressed by just a few of the monster banks on the planet, JP Morgan being the main one. It's ludicrously undervalued, and it's been undervalued now for decades. But of course, and it's also got the industrial military complex are involved, US military complex, because you need not a lot of silver to build rockets and guns and bits and pieces, because silver is a very good industrial metal for that kind of thing, for sophisticated weaponry. So it's been deliberately suppressed, but sooner or later it will have to break out. Russia are accumulating it. We know they're accumulating. It's not a secret. They haven't made a secret of it. And we know it's the same for the Chinese, and I suspect probably the Indian government as well. It will break out. It's at the moment, a silver Britannia you can buy for about 30 quid, round about 30 quid. It's a very good buy if you don't pay VAT. And if you have a reputable dealer, and you'll find them on my website, a guide to reputable dealers who will hold it for you, not a bank, never a bank. They will hold it for you, probably in Switzerland. They will hold it for you. And if you don't take delivery, you won't pay VAT. If you're buying for bullion value, there's no point in paying 20%. You're going to lose a slice of your gain, long-term gain, by giving it to the government. And then you're going to have silver coins, and you've got to sell them back into the market. It's much easier to do it if it's left with a bullion dealer, for which they will charge you. But then when you're going to get out of it, you can pick the phone up and sell it, and they'll credit your bank account, or they'll switch into gold for you if you wish, or vice versa. They charge, that's how they make their money, but so be it. That's it. Everybody's got to make a buck. So silver is good at the moment. And I'm adding now. I'm adding to my own wee portfolio. So as far as custody is concerned, I think most, or certainly a very great deal, certainly the people I recommend, if you leave it with them, it is actually physically nominated for your account in Switzerland, because we've all got to the stage you simply can't trust the government in this country. You can't trust governments, full stop, really. They're all crooks and spivs, and you don't need me to tell you that. Anyway, I hope that helps. There we are. My Gold Web page is now the biggest in Britain. Independent, that is. It's independent. It's not trying to flog you or anything. It's warts and all, tells you everything, lots of interviews, lots of good stuff on it. Have a look at it. See what you think. As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research based, and I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I automatically share it with you. So surprise, won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.